Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Rebirth Distortus Rex Island Escape set. So as you guys mostly know, this is another set that I got for Christmas, and I'm really excited because of mostly of what's included on this side. I love this Distortus Rex too. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be, to be honest with you, but it's a nice little non-electronic D.rex figure that is very posable. So that is something I'm really looking forward to looking at. But it's a really nice set here. You got two of the human characters. You got Ruben Delgado, the father, and his youngest daughter, Isabella Delgado. And then you got the nice little boat here, which I think is supposed to be the boat they escaped in the movie. And it's got some nice little accessories with it. It's got a nice walking stick because Ruben obviously injured his leg. You got Isabella's backpack right there, and probably the one thing I'm excited about the most when it comes to the set, and that is Dolores the Aquilops. I am really excited and happy to have an Aquilops figure in the Mattel line to scale with all of the other things that we've gotten. I guess I'm just mostly excited because, you know, Mattel never gave us the Microceratus from Dominion when Dominion came out. There was a Microceratus that they released a long time ago, but obviously those ones were really hard to find because I don't have any of those. And then here is Mattel just making a toy of the Aquilops from the film and including it with a set. That is just awesome. I'm really excited to have Aquilops because you can see it says Aquilops Dolores included. So I'm really excited for Dolores right there. But everything else I'm looking forward to opening and taking a look at as well. Main packaging is pretty much the same Rebirth packaging with the colors and the logos and the words, and you got a nice logo or render of the D.rex right there looking menacing, and then you got the Mattel logo, and here it just says launch. You can launch all the projectiles. Here on the top it says Jurassic World Rebirth. On the side here it says Jurassic World Rebirth. And then here on the back, it just shows you a lot of cool things. It shows you the set that you're getting in a nice little pose. You got the characters and Dolores making an escape to the boat with the D.rex closing in from behind. Distortus Rex Island Escape set. It's part of the land. Aquilops Dolores included. Awesome. And it can launch. And apparently the boat has dino damage, which is awesome. We don't get a whole lot of that with vehicles these days, I feel like. But that's a nice little touch right there. And it shows you what's contained inside the set. And then fax app information, Jurassic World Rebirth logo, and just a lot of other stuff, boring stuff down there. And the Mattel logo down there. And yeah, really excited to take a closer look at this set. So let's go ahead, enough about the packaging. Let's go ahead and open up this set. Alrighty, so here we have the Distortus Rex Island Escape set out of the box. And again, a really nice looking set here. I always like these sets that come with a dinosaur, some sort of vehicle or play set piece, and some humans. You know, great way to kind of get a lot of everything in one little package for like one single price. And I really like this set, even though, you know, there are some things that I probably would have maybe changed. Like in my opinion, I probably would have substituted the D.rex with, I don't know, something else. Even though this is supposed to be kind of playing off the ending of the film when all the characters escaped on one of the boats at the dock and escaped right before the D.rex catched them. So I guess I get what they were trying to do here, but we've already gotten a D.rex, and this is actually a bit smaller than the bigger one. So it's kind of weird how we have two different sized D.rexes. They could have done something else, like maybe given us a larger scale T-Rex or something. Or even another Spinosaurus with a different sail pattern or something like that. But overall, this is a really nice and very cool looking set. And there are a lot of things that I do like about it. So we'll kind of take a look at we'll take a look at the human characters first, because these are one of the things I liked about the set, is because we get two new characters. We get Ruben Delgado, the father, and his youngest daughter, Isabella Delgado. We still need Teresa and her boyfriend Xavier. I don't know if we're ever going to get those. I mean, we're still missing some of the other mercenaries like Leclerc and Nina and Atwater and all that, but again, I don't even know if we're going to be getting any of those characters. But we got two members out of the whole family that was seen in the film. So it's really cool how this new set brought new characters instead of just reusing Zora and Loomis and all that. Though I wouldn't mind if they added Duncan in here, because I don't know how I'll be able to find that Duncan set. But still, really nice to get 2 new characters. We'll take a look at Ruben first. This one, it doesn't necessarily look like the actor. It kind of looks like a completely different person, but I mean, I know who they're trying to represent, because obviously this is from Rebirth, but the facial likeness isn't exactly spot on compared to the actual actor. But that's okay. I mean, it's easy, not really easy to replicate, you know, accurate faces with human characters, but still, on the plus side, everything else seems to be printed just nicely, you know, the eyes and the facial hair and all that. So that stuff looks good. The hair looks good with nice texture on it, even though it doesn't, I mean, the face doesn't look exactly like the actor, but at least I know who they're trying to replicate here. The shirt is very plain. I know there's 2 different Ruben figures that have been released. There's this one from this set, and then there's one from one of those single packs that come with the little dinosaur. That one just comes with Ruben with his sweatshirt, his red sweatshirt. This one is him without his red sweatshirt, which he's still wearing a red shirt underneath. So this is his red shirt. It's very plain, but he got some nice little wrinkles to kind of show that, you know, it is a shirt. There's even some tears in the shirt as well. There's 2 here on the front, and there's 1 on the back. So it shows that he's been through a lot. And I like how it's kind of painted in the same color as his skin to show, like, hey, these are rips in his shirt and not just like scuff marks of paint or something. Yeah, the sleeves, there's a lot of nice detail in the sleeves. He's got his watch as well, and he's got his shorts are nicely sculpted with some nice creases. He's got the 2 little laces there at the front as well that are sculpted. But yeah, nice detail in the clothing. And then he got his legs, and then his signature shoes that he wears in the film. So yeah, this looks exactly, I mean, from a distance and clothing wise, I know it's exactly like Ruben in the film. Just probably would have been a bit better if it looked just a teensy bit more like the actor, but it's not the end of the world. And then we have his daughter, his youngest daughter, Isabella, which is again another basic human figure. It's kind of like your typical of the younger children that we've gotten from Mattel. There isn't a whole lot of articulation, but the likeness is similar. It's not, again, much like Ruben, it's not on point, but you can tell who it's trying to replicate. So it's got her signature hair that she has, the face features that are printed on very nicely. She's got her pink shirt, which unfortunately does not have the picture on it, the graphic on it that it did in the film. Then she's got her yellow, I want to say something, probably oh yeah, I think it's a sweatshirt, I believe. And it looks like a yellow raincoat, which is very classic in Jurassic. But the detail on the coat is really nice. You got your pockets, you got some folds in the fabric, you got the nice zipper showing right there, and how it folds around her neck. So really nice detail in the coat or the jacket that she's wearing, and it's made of a softer rubbery material. Nice detail on the sleeves with the creases, and then she's also got her shorts on as well, which also has some nice sculpted detail on it. And then she's got her shoes that she wears in the film, so those ones are nicely sculpted and nicely painted. Everything else is nicely painted. I mean, they could have added the little graphic on her shirt, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And then one of her accessories is her backpack that she wears throughout the film. This is the backpack in which she puts Dolores in it. And the detail is very nicely with the sculpt and the little buckles and the colors and the design. So really nice job on the laces and the straps there. Yeah, the Isabella looks really great. The articulation, very standard. You know, the move can move all around. The head can move all around, I guess is what I was trying to say. Here at the shoulders, they pivot up and down, rotate 360. She does not have any waist articulation. She's got some leg movements here that can just move up and down and side to side. No knee articulation and no elbow articulation. which is pretty typical for these smaller characters. I almost forgot to do Reuben as well, so very typical. You know, the head can move all over the place, and the arms up and down, and they can rotate, and he's got the elbow joints, which also can rotate. He has a little bit of some waist movement, and his hips can pivot in and out and move forward and backwards, and then he's got knee articulation, which can move forward and backwards and can rotate. So very typical human articulation, as I keep on saying whenever I review these human figures. But yeah, these two look really good, and overall roughly capture the likeness of the characters, even though if it's not full, like spot on, I guess. Then we got one little accessory here. We just got Reuben's walking stick, because obviously he injures his leg in the film, so it's really cool to have him have a little walking stick to help keep his balance. So that is a really cool little accessory, and he can stand perfectly with it. Probably one of the best things included in this set that I was really excited for, that you guys all know, and that is the inclusion of the Aquilops, little Dolores here. Really psyched to have this dinosaur in my collection, because it's accurate, you know. It's such a small dinosaur, so it's gonna look really cool on my shelf with all my other Jurassic dinosaurs. And this one, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty much like the Aquilops in the movie. Nice detail in the head, in the sculpt, much like the skull of the Aquilops in the film. It's got that signature spike coming out of the beak right there. It's kind of missing a little bump on top of its nose, which is very interesting. We can see the little nostril. Some nice little creases on the beak. Nice little detail around the eye, on the frill. It's got those larger scoots or scales on the side of the lower jaw right there. Here on the other side, looks pretty good. It looks just like the Aquilops for the most part. And the body is really nice as well. Nicely sculpted, nicely detailed, with a lot of nice scales you can see sculpted on there. So Mattel did an excellent job with that. Then the legs and the arms are really nicely sculpted as well. Get a little bit of muscle definition here in the legs. And you got the 3 toes on the feet, and then I think it was like, what, 5, or it's got a certain amount of digits on its hand. Yeah, 5 digits on its hands right there, which I think is also pretty accurate. Obviously, the nails aren't gonna be painted. This guy's like super tiny, but the paint job overall is really nice, even if the nails aren't painted. Get a nice yellow for the eye, and there's a little dark pupil, which is the same color as the brown. Primarily, it's like this beige color on the underside, and it kind of fades up into like this really light orangish yellow, which then fades into like this brown on the top. The whole head is brown, and then it's got some black stripes on the tail, which are very accurate to how this animal looked in the film. So yeah, a really great little Aquilops figure, and there's no articulation, and that's fine. I don't need any articulation on these small little creatures, because it's, first of all, it's almost impossible to do something like that, and plus it kind of takes away from just having this guy just be a small species for your collection. So it's really cool. Not only is it really cool to have an Aquilops in a Jurassic movie, but also to have a toy of one. This is my only Aquilops toy in any of my collections, whether it's accurate or inaccurate. So I love this a lot, and it's probably one of the best parts of this entire set, in my opinion. And she is really tiny compared to Isabella, though a little big to fit in her backpack. So Aquilops probably would have been super tiny if it was going to fit in this backpack. So obviously that ain't going to happen, but still it is a good small scale as just like a standing next to her or something. So I absolutely love the Aquilops. Really wish Mattel gave us the Microceratus from Dominion. That's a huge missed opportunity right there, so I'm glad they gave us the Aquilops. And hey, hopefully we'll see the Aquilops again in the next movie. I would love to get more of these guys and have a little group of them. Now we're going to move on to the vehicle of the set, and that is the boat, this little raft that the characters escaped on. It's not exactly identical to what you saw in the film. It's very, I don't want to say stylized, but definitely designed in a way for the purpose of just playability, not really based off of the movie. So this one actually reminds me of a lot of those little cool boat sets that you get from the Animal Planet toy sets from Chat May that you would get at Toys R Us all the time. This is what it reminds me of, like one of those diver sets. So you got a little boat, a diver, and then maybe like a shark or something. So But overall, a really nice looking boat. I like the little texture, or the texture the boat has. It's not really fully smooth, but there's like a little bit of texture on it, but it has like this smooth like feel to it, kind of like a normal raft in a way. So that is really cool. But it's got some nice detail here on the rim of it. Again, kind of similar to an actual raft. On the inside, got some nice little details, especially here on the floor. Some nice lines, this little area is nicely sculpted, and you got some nice sculpt work here on these little parts. These little bars right here as well, and this little part front of the boat or the raft. And on the back, you got a nice little area for the characters to sit, which is really nice as well. And you got this nice little arch area, almost looks like a ladder, but it's just part of the structure of the vehicle, I guess. And it comes with a little launcher on top. Again, not really accurate to what you got in the film, except the boat in the movie had like a little lamp, like a lamp on it to shine like a searchlight. This is what it could have been, but it's a launcher instead. So I guess you need some playability with these sets, which the launcher itself looks really nice, nicely sculpted, nicely detailed. There isn't a whole lot of texture, but overall it looks really nice. Same with the little scope up here, which is the button, but it looks really nice as well. And here on the back, you got some nice little areas back here, which I'm not sure what these are supposed to be. Probably just extra places to rest people's feet maybe, but nice little detail, attention to detail there, and some stuff back here. Then you got the motor right here, which is really good. I like how it has like this shiny plastic, so it kind of looks like the actual motor like you see in real life. They're kind of shiny like that. And the detail is really nice on it as well. So that's really cool. And you can see the little propellers right here to kind of propel yourself. And it's articulated, so you can move it side to side to help, you know, turn and all that. So that is really cool. Cool play a little bit. Oh, and it can move up and down, so you can, I guess, lifting it up and down kind of maybe changes speed or something like that. I'm not too familiar with boats, but I know what this is supposed to be. It's a motor with the propeller to allow it to go. So that's pretty cool. Here on the underside, not a whole lot. You got a little bit of this line design going down there, and you got some wheels so that you can have it drive on the carpet, even though for me I would put this on the actual water itself. Here in the center, you got a little bit of a driving area, which is started mumbling, which is really cool. You got the little steering wheel that can spin. Oh, there you go. Nice little windshield right there. Nice little area with buttons and a thermometer area to check your speed. I'm not even sure that was the right term. Excuse me on that. But really cool. You got a little area right here that people can probably sit as well, but that's also a button to trigger another action feature. But this is a nice little piece. It kind of takes up a lot of space, so you can't really fit a lot of characters on here. Again, this was only work for just like 2 people, which is the people that it came with. So still really cool there. The action feature that this has is that this little button here, you just push it. Oh my goodness, I almost lost that. But yeah, it's got some dino damage. So this whole piece can break off. You can see it looks like it's been broken off, so you can see the D.rex ripped it off or something before they made a daring escape or something. So that is really cool how it can do that. And this part can move, but there's really no other action features except for the launchers, which it comes with 2 little projectiles. You got a little lifesaver right here, a little buoy that you can throw and to help people stay afloat, which is really cool how it's attached to this little thing. And then it's also got a harpoon, which will probably do some damage if you're aiming it at a dinosaur, in this case the D.rex. So you can put this in right there, and I hope I don't lose this, but there you go, shoots it like that, and it shoots pretty far too. I always test out these figures before I review them, but still really cool. And also, just like the vehicle set we reviewed before, these have a little storage compartment areas, these little dots here on the side that you can just place it in there, and there you go. You can display your other little projectile if you're not using it. So that is really cool. A lot of cool stuff you can do with this little raft, so I like it a lot. And then we get to the big piece of the set, and that is the extra Distort Rex that we get. And this one is a lot smaller than the previous one, but also this one is not electronic. And this one's gave up the electronic pieces and instead got articulation instead. So this is really cool. Overall, a really nice little D.rex set. I still find it so weird that this is a Jurassic Park dinosaur, a dinosaur with 4 arms. So that is so cool and so weird at the same time. So overall, detail-wise, it is exactly the same as the electronic Distortus Rex that we got. So same detail, same sculpt, you know, bumps on the head, same wrinkles in the skin, the stretch marks in the skin, the detail and the scales in the skin are all pretty much identical to what you see in the larger versions. You can see all the scales here on the face, especially here on the lower jaw, looking very nice. Same with the ridges on the fingers and the crease and like the little line textures on the arms, the creases on the fingers and the feet as well, which look really great. So like I said, pretty much identical to what we got in the previous Distortus Rex, which we will do comparisons. And the colors are roughly the same, except it's a lot more, it's a lot less, I would say. It's got the signature yellow colors. It's got the brown on the top, the brown around the eye, and it's got the orange eye with the black pupil. Again, looking very nice. And it's got the white on the front arms and the white on the underside a little bit, but it is missing, you know, painted nails, and it's missing the brown on the arms that the electronic one had. So the paint job is a lot less on the bigger one, but overall I just like the aesthetic on this one. I just like how it's just basic and just has articulation. I would have been okay with that if that's what we got instead of an electronic one. But yeah, so could have used a bit more paint, and obviously I wish the hand claws on all four arms and the toe claws were painted, because it does look kind of unfinished and incomplete when they're just unpainted like this. And it's got like all this really interesting dark speckling, which I guess kind of adds the texture of the skin a little bit. But Mattel has always been doing stuff like that. So overall, really nice little Distortus Rex figure. You can see the little scan code right there. Nice detail on the bottoms of the feet. But really nice, a really nice little Distortus Rex. The teeth look really great though. Nice rubber, separately molded teeth. And the inside of the mouth is nicely painted with like the nice fleshy color. So that looks really great as well. Articulation wise, the jaw can open and close. Really cool. You don't need an action feature for this, so that is awesome. The two front arms right here can just move forward and backwards. So it's really cool how these ones are articulated. The other ones are not at all. So this is really cool. The front arms here are a huge step up. Instead of using an action feature, they're actually posable. So there's, out of both of these figures, each benefit for their own thing. The arms here, they can move 360. Look at that, 360. They can pivot in and out. And then you got the wrist articulation. They can move forward and backwards or side to side, however you want to put it. And it can rotate, so look at that. Really great articulation on this little Distortus Rex. The same can be applied on the other arm. Here on the hind legs, they don't pivot in and out, but they just move forward and backwards. And the ankles do rotate, but obviously I don't really like using those. So, and then the tail on a cool little ball joint here. They can go up and down, left to right, and it can swivel. So a nice little tail swinging action. You can use it to smack things. So that is really cool. So I overall really do enjoy this Distortus Rex, even if it wasn't necessarily needed for this set. So we're gonna get to some comparisons. We'll do the Aquilops first. We'll actually compare it with a couple of other smaller things. So here we have a locust, or a Biosyn locust, I should say. And they are roughly the same size. The Aquilops is obviously a bit longer. But they look really nice together. I like getting these, I like getting smaller little figures of something that's from the movies. And they're not small because they're like babies, but they're small because they're actually, this is their actual life-size look, you know? So that is really cool. And then we'll just throw in a little compy. So the compy is obviously a bit bigger than the Aquilops lengthwise. So yeah, these guys would have a run for their money if a little compy goes after them. So I always like having these little guys together. This is so cool. I love these little mini life-size dinosaurs for your action figures. Now for the D.rex, we will compare this one here with the massive electronic one, which I'll have to move my camera back a little bit. So here you go, you can see the difference between both. And actually looking at it, this one's colors are a bit more muted or not muted, but a bit more pale than this one. This could actually pass for a juvenile Distortus Rex if you really wanted to, because it's like different colors, you know? So, but they do look very similar. Obviously, this one has a lot more paint going on. Yeah, I mean, both of these look really good. Now, obviously, they're good for right now, but until we get a Hammond Collection one, you know, this is what we're going to get. And the Hammond Collection one is obviously going to be a lot more movie accurate. But yeah, they both kind of benefit for their own reasons. Like this one I love because it's got more colors, it's bigger, and yeah, I mean the action features are cool, but it's primarily just because it's bigger, and I love the more added colors, and its toe claws are painted. This one I like because of the articulation. This one's got much better articulation than what you got in this one, so they both are great for their own specific reasons. But still, this one's got sound, and actually it's turned off right now. But yeah, they both look really good together, regardless of if it has electronics or not, or who's bigger and whatnot. But that's just my own opinion. So everyone, that's about to wrap it up for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would say I'd recommend this set mostly because of the two human characters and the Aquilops mostly. But there are some fun pieces in here, like the boat and all of its playability, and the really cool articulated D.rex, which is pretty fun as well. So yeah, I'd recommend getting this set if you find it. Probably just because of the Aquilops. I'm just happy to have that. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next video.